Breaking news. Liam Payne, a member of the popular boy band One Direction, has died. The news of Liam's sudden death has left his fans, friends, and family in shock. Police reports suggest Liam was going through a tough time, and his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, has finally opened up about why she left him in Argentina. Liam, once the star of One Direction, passed away at the young age of 31. His life was cut short in a tragic way. Let's take a look at what happened in his last moments. At 31, you'd think he had a lot more to live for, but the circumstances of his death are just heartbreaking. We all know about the sad news of Liam Payne's death after falling from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's like a light has gone out, leaving us with memories and a lot of unanswered questions. Today, we're going to try to piece together what happened in those final hours, remember a life that was so bright, and say goodbye to a man who meant so much to so many. Just hours before he died, the police were called to his hotel. According to reports, a hotel worker called in a panic, saying Liam was causing a lot of trouble and might have been drunk. We've got a recording of the hotel's call to the police before Liam Payne's death. In it, the hotel staff clearly calls Liam drunk and claims that he's throwing things around and breaking objects in his room. It's still hard to believe that the last video he posted on Snapchat was literally hours before he died.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
No.
No.
Then, things took a heartbreaking turn. When the police got there, it was too late. There was a loud noise, and Liam's body was found. The police are still figuring out what exactly happened, but the shock is still overwhelming. The One Direction fans, Directioners, are absolutely devastated because, for many, One Direction was a big part of their childhood or teenage years. Their music was timeless and touched people of all ages. Right now, we're all waiting for more details from the autopsy and the investigation. But what we do know is that his behavior was concerning enough for the hotel staff to call for help. A woman named Carola Guana, who was there at the time, has now shared her story. Carola, who met Liam just before he fell to his death, is devastated and can't believe what happened. Carola remembers Liam smiling at her and even singing to her, a moment that made her really feel something. She went on to say that she was one of the last people Liam talked to and sang to. For her, it was a perfect moment that quickly turned into a nightmare. She was shocked and asked everyone not to talk about it, saying she was still in shock and could still smell his cologne. She mentioned that going from such a close and personal moment to hearing the terrible news of his death just hours later was heartbreaking. It's like she was stuck between feeling happy about meeting a star and the sadness of his sudden passing, all in the same day. With everything happening so quickly, at first, people thought Liam was on a solo trip. But it turns out, although he was alone that day, he had gone on this trip with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy. By coincidence, 2 days before Liam's accident, Kate posted on social media saying she had just returned from Argentina after a much-needed break. She mentioned she left Liam there because she doesn't like being in one place for too long. Some people think Kate's story sounds a bit fishy. It seems like their trip to Argentina was only supposed to last 5 days. But 2 weeks later, Liam still didn't want to leave. Kate didn't say why Liam didn't come back with her, but things only got worse from here. Kate Cassidy is reportedly devastated after discovering that the late One Direction heartthrob allegedly partied with prostitutes just hours before his death. A friend spilled the tea to the Post, saying she just heard about the prostitutes. She knew nothing about that. She just said she has to wrap her mind around it. Ouch! Can you imagine finding out something like that? The insider added that these revelations feel like a huge betrayal for Kate, and honestly, it hurts a lot. Sounds like she's really struggling to cope. She hasn't stopped crying, the pal continued. She's devastated. She's got a good support system around her, but this just went from bad to worse. She's not okay. Kate was already dealing with enough, but now this? The emotional roller coaster just took a wild turn. Moving on, we all know that when celebrities die, people are always trying to draw up different scenarios and conspiracy theories about how it all went down. In times like this, it's pretty much expected. And Liam's case is no different. If you think about it, we've often heard of those situations where someone makes a snap decision that ends badly, especially hose balcony jump stories, usually involving young and drunk travelers who think they can make it but don't realize how dangerous it really is. But some folks think there's more to the story. People always start guessing about shady stuff when a celebrity dies suddenly, and Liam's case is no different. I think one of the wildest things that fame can do to you, especially when you're a child star, is mess with your personality. His famous Logan Paul interview, where he made some mean comments about Zayn Malik's upbringing, really upset fans and his old bandmates. Talking about Zayn, Liam's comments didn't help his situation. He seemed to brush off Zayn's struggles with mental health and racism, which made fans mad. They felt Liam was being callous. Social media went crazy with criticism. A lot of people thought he was jealous, but looking back, it might have been one of the things that led to his early passing. It seems like Liam Payne was dealing with a lot of anxiety, depression, and insecurities by lashing out at others. But it looks like things have cooled down since Zayn reached out to him as a brother, reminiscing about the good times and the memories they shared. Liam Payne's relationship with Kate Cassidy also caused a stir when a TikTok video came out with him making a snarky comment about her outfit. "Nice and covered up for once," he said, which got fans accusing him of being a misogynist. During a controversial interview with Logan Paul, Liam made a bunch of statements that got social media all riled up. He seemed to be throwing shade at his One Direction bandmates, especially Zayn Malik. But it didn't stop there. He also said some pretty questionable things about his ex-fiancée Maya Henry, making fans furious. Maya Henry accused Liam Payne of being controlling and having a bit of an obsession after they broke up in 2022. She said he talked about death a lot and kept reaching out to her and her family in a really annoying way, which is why she sent him a cease and desist letter before he passed away. She also mentioned that he hinted at his own death the week before, and it wasn't the first time he did. She also said he seemed to enjoy thinking about death, saying he would always play with death. But the drama didn't stop with just words. Payne's love life was a mess. His on-again, off-again relationship with Maya Henry was all over the tabloids for months. Who could forget that awkward moment when a fan mistook him for cheating on Maya and Maya herself retweeted the photos asking if it was Liam Payne? He opened up about hitting his lowest point when One Direction was at the top, dealing with alcohol and depression. Being famous isn't always as great as it seems, and for Liam, it almost pushed him over the edge. He mentioned that he was acting out, using alcohol to deal with the stress of being in the spotlight.
Bunch of these over time and deleted them, but I don't know whether this was like the right time. I know in my last video I'd mentioned I've been diagnosed with a couple of conditions. Not to go into too much into detail, but one of them that I have, basically there's a lot of manic things in my life which you guys saw, but the other side of it, and that kind of feels like when I would lose my sobriety would be within these moments that were super low, and I kind of felt like that today. And since isolating the two things and seeing them separately, like I know what they are now and I can identify them, and luckily, you know, I've got some amazing people around me that kind of look after me, but I'm sure they can see it in me too, that I'm just not really here. Yeah, I just wanted to put this out here anyway, as I know there's probably a few people who have the same thing. Maybe you don't even know it sometimes, but yeah, just so you know, you're not the only one.
Things didn't improve much after the band took a break. There were whispers that he was let go by his team, struggling to make it as a solo artist. At one point, Liam confessed he couldn't even leave the house without a bottle of Jack Daniels. This isn't the first time he's hit rock bottom. Actually, a lot of young stars like Justin Bieber, Lindsay Lohan, and even the well-known Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone have talked about how the fame and the lifestyle they had to maintain really took a toll on their mental health. During a really emotional moment, Liam Payne revealed that even when he's in the middle of a huge crowd of screaming fans showing their support, he still feels completely overwhelmed and lost.
I was worried how far my rock bottom was going to be. Where's rock bottom for me? And you would never have seen it. I'm very good at hiding it. No one would have ever seen it. But rock bottom, I mean, I don't even know.